So I want to show you something weird. See where it says assembled in Mexico? It looks like right below that it says something aircraft company. I can't read it. It looks like Oh, Hughes. What the heck? Hughes Aircraft Co. Hughes Aircraft Company? What have I found? What is this? Welcome to the channel. I'm Mike, and today we have this Marcel branded LCD vintage wristwatch. It's in questionable shape, so let's take it apart and see what's in it. What do you say? First matter of business, let's see if we can get this bracelet out of the way. This looks like it is a proprietary bracelet. As you can see, there's little cutouts in the bracelet, and there's this protrusionary appendage here on the watch itself. There's a section of perhaps paper clip holding this side on, and then there's what looks like a pin that probably came with the watch on this side. We'll see if we can't push that out. So let me just see if I can grab this piece of wire. Let's see, do I have any wiggle? Is he rusted into place? Oh, there we go. Okay, so it will slide. Okay, can we push it out now? There we go. And now maybe we can just grab and pull. Yes, we can. So it looks like there's a pin there. And I was thinking maybe we could just push it out. This is just a basic set of watchmaker tools. I picked up this kit just to throw in the car if I'm ever out at like a flea market, or I wanted to take something apart if I found a watch somewhere and I just wanted to open it up. It has this watch bracelet link adjuster tool, and so maybe we can use this to push out that pin. This is very awkward because the case is this odd shape. I don't want to bend the tool. This is a very janky kind of operation here. This is a block for holding watches vertical while you work on them. I wonder if, can we work with that? All we need to do is get it to just go down a very little bit, and then we can pull it out the other side if we have enough there to grip. Why don't we do this? Let's at least remove some of this bracelet. The bracelet says 100% stainless steel, so at least that gives me hope that we can refinish this. It looks like it was gold at one time, and it just got rubbed down to the stainless steel. Oh, wait. Okay, you know what? I'm looking at the lens on this watch, and it almost looks like there's a red lens, like maybe there's another display below this. Is that possible? That would be weird if this had an LCD and an LED. Now I'm curious. I feel like there's something down there. Okay, well, here's what we'll do. Let's pop this open and let's remove one of the pins on the bracelet just to get the majority of the bracelet out of the way. Can I use the this little tool as a spring bar tool? Why, yes. Yes, I can. And ooh, that's got some history right there. Folks, if you are squeamish in any way, I recommend you stick with new wristwatches. Since the case back doesn't have any lugs for unscrewing, we need to assume that it is a pry-off case back. There's a little thumbnail notch right there. I'm going to use my watch back case knife. See if we can put the blade right in that little cutout. There we go. We got some motion. This thing is really gooked on. So I'm just going to see if I can kind of walk it off just by turning it a little bit by bit. I'm really trying to control it. There we go. The back is off. What's in it? It's red. What happens next when we take out these batteries, that will be a telling tale. Will there be corrosion? Gosh, I hope not. But I feel like it's almost inevitable in these old watches. Pull these up. A little piece of Rodico. Okay. And the first battery volunteers itself. And it looks pretty clean. And this is a 357 Union Carbide 357 battery. He's out. Gosh, I hope this side is clean as well. There we go. Okay, a little bit of that green stuff, you can see it there, on the battery. Not what we want to see, but there's less than we've seen in other watches. The movement is labeled 5.77. It has a little rheostat, little adjustment screw in here. By the time quartz watches were popular, you really didn't need those adjusting screws. So just the fact that there is an adjustment screw gets me kind of excited that this watch may be older rather than newer, and I really like the older digital watches. What happens if we lift out the movement? And there we go. There's a look inside the case. And yet, looks like there's a little plastic window down at the bottom. Let's flip it over and see what we've got. Oh, yeah. Okay. Come here, release. This might be kind of interesting. You can see the obvious LCD display up top, but those look like LED segments. So how interesting would that be if this watch had both LED and LCD? Hey Mike, this is Future Mike, and that indeed is an LED display designed to mirror the LCD above it. This movement was designed and manufactured by the Hughes Aircraft Company originally for the Longines Gemini watch in the mid-1970s. Let's take a minute to look at some of the marketing material from Longines that paints a fascinating picture of a transitional time in wristwatch history. This ad from the mid-1970s says the Gemini is the one digital watch you can read by night and by day, the one that counts seconds without holding down a button, and the one with batteries that last by combining light-emitting diode technology with liquid crystal display technology. This engineering feat allows you to read the time on the Longines Gemini in the most brilliant sunlight. Try that with an ordinary LED watch. And in the dead of night, try that with an ordinary LCD. There's no time when you can't tell the time. This ad from 1977 touts the watch's advanced computer chip that does the work of 1,500 transistors. 1,500 with an exclamation point! There's no watch on Earth quite like it. Except for this Hellbros that uses the exact same module as the Longines, and this Croton terrestrial, and this Commodore. Hey, make a mental note of that blue face. It will be relevant later. And finally, this Croton model, which is a splitting image of the Marcel watch you now see before you. Very cool. This just got really interesting. I'll see if I can find some matching batteries, see if we can get it to work. Fingers crossed. Let me just put this aside, and let's just concentrate on this case for a second. I just kind of touched the front of this little crystal, and this faceplate came right out. And this is extremely thin. I don't know if this was held in to the case with adhesive. There's two little tabs where that red coloring came off on the case. But I don't know if that matters. This is basically like a little window. Very, very thin metal. So we'll just put this aside and very gently we'll give this a little cleaning. This pusher has pretty good spring action. It's moving freely. This pusher has range of motion, but it's not really moving freely. It's gummed up. So hopefully the ultrasonic will get that cleaned up. And then there's what looks like a little setting pusher here. And that seems to be going in and out just fine. Let's just try some distilled water. Most of this just looked like dust. Okay, name's not coming off. That's good. It does look like some of the red is coming off. This feels so thin. This just feels almost like foil. And now let me see if I can get this gold tone frame, which looks like the only place on this watch where the gold actually held up. A little blow dry there. A little bit of water on this big sponge here. Well, I've uncovered, it says unadjusted, no jewels. Does that come as a surprise to anybody? See if I can lightly scratch some fresh connectivity into these contact pads. I just want to expose some of the shiny. Let's blow that out. Yeah, there's a couple of small crystals of oxidation. Can we pop them off? Let's see. They're like little dark green nerds. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, that grime's coming right off. Good. Just get some fresh copper visible. All right. So simple, but so effective. Let's cook it some more. Oh, look at that. Just gonna help it here. And I might have to get a new toothbrush after this. That was disgusting. We'll rinse these off and then we'll rejoin over at the workbench. How'd they come out? Bracelet's much cleaner. Not perfect, but I'm not afraid to touch it now. This is the part I'm more curious about. Maybe it could use a little bit more spot cleaning, but most important to me right now is these pushers have much better range. They all move freely through their range. Well, just as I said that, this one got a little sticky. You know what, maybe I'll just drop a little bit of oil in there. See if I can get a little dab of HP 1300 in here. Just massage this a little bit. There we go. Let's do a test. And I'm just using the pushers as an index, centering the movement. You can see the little contacts. It's showtime. This one goes the opposite way. We just want to make contact right across the top of the batteries. Pressure squeeze that there, and what do we got? We have digits. That's good news. All right, let's see what this thing will do. A few minutes has ticked by. It's been running for 3 minutes. Let's see what happens when we press the buttons. What happens when we press the side button? All right, so we're setting it now. The LED just mimics the LCD rather than put a light on the LCD, sort of as a night light. So you display seconds by pressing them both. Maybe that is the date. So let's test that theory. If I hold this in, if it goes to 31 and then back to 1, then I'm guessing this is the date function. 30, 31, back to 1. Primitive, but I can work with that. I'd like to try a little cosmetic experiment. Sometimes Simichrome on costume jewelry, it has actually removed gold plating. Let's see, where's a good place to try it? Maybe right here. And try that surface right there, see if any of that gold comes off. Because if it does, I'm tempted to return the case to its silver color to match the bracelet. Just concentrating on this one surface, which if we decide to leave it gold, won't be that visible. Woo! I really can't tell. All right, and after just a wee bit of polishing, we ended up here. So the polishing dramatically took the level of gold tone down off of the case, and I'm pretty pleased with how the bracelet polished up. So I think I'll throw this back in for another ultrasonic cycle, and we'll recase the watch. We'll see how it looks. I want to see if I can clean up this lens a little bit. I need to be careful about removing the red finish. And just as a reminder, it's on this foil backing plate. The lower part has a red clear lens. I want to preserve the logo, so I'm just going to mask over the logo, and then I'm going to try some polywatch. Okay. Let's see how we do. All right, we're getting a little bit of the red off on the cloth, which is what I suspected. I'm trying to get a little bit more of a sheen on it. It actually feels a little bit gummy on this side. Oh, shit. Look at that. Yep. No more logo. I'm at a juncture. Can I remove a cleaner line of that red coating and make it look purposeful? Let's see. I'm unpainting. I feel like I'm waxing. I can't leave it like this. So let's see how dedicated it is on this side. Yep, not very dedicated. We're back. The color layer is gone, as is the watch logo. This is what is left. So I'm just gonna clean it with some polywatch because it just feels like a piece of acrylic right now, a piece of plastic. Under the red is this sort of bluish metallic looking surface. This is strange, I'll grant you that. But I suppose at this point it's just a case of it is what it is. Here's the bracelet. We need to restore this. Look at this. This is kind of cool. If I go in from this direction, oh, that's a pretty good fit. Paperclip action. I'd say to right about there. Back that out. There we go. Right there. Snug that pin. Little friction fit there. Is there anything that's going to snap in place? Oh, it made a little sound. Checking my contacts, and now let's see if we can just press this up in place. That looks funky. But you know what? I've seen other watches that have the blue faceplate. If I didn't tell you that this was supposed to be red, you might think it was supposed to be blue. You like my logic? We're gonna measure this up and throw a gasket on it. 32 millimeter gasket, put a little bit of the slippery stuff on here. Power. There we go. 11/24. What's the date? It's the 7th. And there it is in its LED glory. All right. There it is. You know, it's kind of empowering just being able to pick something up like this that otherwise would be discarded and turn it into something that, yeah, just someday I might throw it on my wrist and take it for a spin. The watch says it's time for me to go. I'm Mike, the channel is Watch with Mike. Thanks for joining me on this vintage digital watch adventure. I look forward to your comments down below. Be good, be well, be safe. I look forward to our next time together.